Hello, my name is Jesse, and this is my project for the TigerGraph hackathon. So my project is called TigerGraph Visual Query Tool, and basically what it does is it'll connect to a TigerGraph database, and then it'll allow you to run a installed query or write a custom query and visualize that data using Streamlit. So first you have to connect to a database. So I have a database running here already on my account. It's just called health node. So that's the URL for it. And then username, password, and I just used the default graph name that came with the sample. And for the secret, you also have to put the secret as well, so I just have it copied in a text file. So once you hit these buttons, it'll say connected to the graph, and then it'll give you this screen here. So it'll ask you to choose a task, so you can run an installed query or write a custom query. So we're going to start by running an installed query, and we're going to choose a query. So we can choose from any of the currently installed queries. So there are currently 3 that are installed. And then we can define the arguments here. So edge type, I have an example here. So I'm going to put has reactions, sample size, let's say 10, just to keep it small. The source is the vertex ID, so I'm going to just paste that there. The type is reported case, and I'm just going to say 10 for top K. Just to make it simple. So for the output, there are 2 ways to output currently, JSON and table. So if you do JSON, it'll print the query data. So it'll print the list, and then the key, and then all of the vertices that were found in the query. And also this query returns the size as well. So as you can see, there's all this data here, and if you want, you can also output it as a table. So you'll just hit run query, and also the query isn't run until you hit run query, so that prevents it from bogging down the performance. So as you can see, it's a bit messy, so that's probably one way I could improve, is to make the formatting on the table cleaner. But this is what the table looks like. It's pretty much the same thing as what was in the JSON, except it's now in a static table using the Streamlit table function. And we can also try this with another vertex. So I have another one here. Let's just run it as a table, and as you can see, it prints out the data as a table once again. And now let's try to run a different query. So let's try to run top side effects for top drugs. So let's say company name, let's choose Roche. For K, we'll do like 5, and role, we'll do that. This is mostly from the example in the query on Graph Studio. So first, let's print it as a JSON. Alright, so as you can see, it gives you a list of these drugs. So there's 1, and then there's another, and then there's 5 of them. And all of these are reactions. And you can also print it as a table. And as you can see, you get the same data, but it's now in a table. So you have a list of drugs here, and then the reaction, number of reactions, and then like the reaction, and all the data you want from the query. So I was also planning to do chart and graph visualizations, but I ran into a lot of issues with formatting because it's my first time using these tools like graph visualization tools and charts. So I ran into a lot of issues with formatting, so I ended up actually removing that feature. But that would be a way to improve this application. So now you can also write a custom query. So I've never used GSQL, so I have a very simple query here. But just to show that this works, it does something really simple. So you just pass it some arguments here. You write the query here, and then you can output it as a JSON, and it'll give you this JSON with the string and the number, and you can see it's nothing and 25. Or you can do a table, and it gives you this table with nothing. And it doesn't actually give the num because it only looks at the first value in that list there. But yeah, so you can write a custom query here, and you can call it to the database. And this will work with any database. I haven't tested it with any other ones, but it should work with other ones because I wrote it so that it gives you the list of all the installed queries in that database. So it shouldn't matter what database you use, it should be able to work like it does here. And yeah, that's basically my project. This is my first time using these tools. I had a great time doing this project, and I hope I can improve this project in the future. Thank you for watching.